Love. It's one of the most powerful emotions we experience, yet also one of the hardest to understand. People say, actions speak louder than words, and when it comes to real love, that couldn't be more true. Any guy can say, I love you, but not every guy will show it in the little meaningful ways that prove it's real. When a man is genuinely in love, something in him changes. Not just the way he looks at you, but the way he behaves when you're not even watching. You start to notice the difference. His presence feels safer, his words feel deeper, and the connection between you feels stronger. Like you're not just part of his life, but a priority in it. Real love is never loud or flashy. It's quiet, consistent, and shows up when it matters most. A man in love will reveal himself in how he listens, how he protects you, how he chooses you again and again, without needing to be asked. But here's the thing. Not every act of kindness means love, and not every romantic gesture means commitment. That's why it's important to know the difference between temporary interest and lasting love. A man who's really in love will leave clues, not through promises, but through his behavior. And it's often the small, subtle things he does that speak the loudest. You don't have to beg him to make time. You don't have to constantly explain how you feel. You don't have to doubt his loyalty when he's not around. Because when a man loves you from the heart, he moves differently. He shows up, he steps up, and he stands by your side. Not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. This video isn't about fantasy or perfect romance. It's about recognizing real love in the way a man treats you when he's truly, deeply invested. Whether you're in a relationship now, healing from the past, or trying to understand what love should really look like, this is for you. So, if you've ever found yourself wondering, is he truly in love with me? Pay close attention, because these aren't just signs. They're truths that many overlook. And when you see a man consistently doing these 15 things, you won't need to ask if he loves you. You'll feel it in the way he touches your soul, not just your hand. Let's get into it. 1. He remembers the small details about you. When a guy is truly in love, one of the clearest signs is how well he remembers the little things about you, the kind of details most people forget. It's not just about recalling your birthday or your favorite color. It's deeper. He pays attention when you speak, even if what you're saying seems ordinary. You might casually mention your favorite late-night snack, a childhood memory, or a small fear you have, and weeks later, he'll bring it up at just the right moment. Not because he's trying to impress you, but because it stayed with him. It mattered to him because it came from you. Real love sharpens memory when it comes to the person we care about. He may remember how you take your coffee, the exact way your voice changes when you're excited, or how you once said you love the sound of rain at night. He'll notice your habits, your moods, and your silent moments. And when something reminds him of you, a song, a quote, a smell, he connects it instantly. This kind of attention is never forced. It's effortless, because when someone truly loves you, every piece of you feels important to them. Remembering small things is his way of holding on to who you are. It's how he shows that he sees you, not just the surface, but the subtle, quiet parts of you that even you might overlook. And in love, that kind of remembrance is powerful. 2. He prioritizes your happiness over his own. When a man is genuinely in love, your happiness becomes a priority to him, sometimes even more than his own. This doesn't mean he forgets himself or becomes a martyr, but it shows how deeply he cares. When your smile, your peace, and your comfort matter to him on a core level, he starts making decisions with you in mind. Whether it's something as small as choosing where to eat, or something bigger like adjusting his schedule to spend time with you, He shows that your joy holds weight in his heart. Love isn't always about grand gestures. Often, it's in the small sacrifices, the ones he makes quietly without needing recognition. Maybe he had a long, tiring day, but still stays up late to talk because he knows you're upset. Maybe he lets go of an argument not because he's wrong, but because he values your peace more than being right. These moments might go unnoticed by others, but they speak volumes about where his heart truly lies. Prioritizing your happiness also means he celebrates your wins as if they're his own. He's proud of you. Your goals, your dreams, your growth, they matter to him. And when life gets heavy, he does what he can to carry the weight with you. That kind of love isn't always loud, but it's real. Because when someone places your happiness so close to their own, it's a sign that what they feel isn't just affection. It's deep, selfless love. 3. He listens to you. Truly listens. When a man is truly in love, the way he listens to you changes completely. It becomes intentional, focused, and deeply personal. He doesn't just hear your words, he absorbs them. He listens not to reply, but to understand. In a world full of distractions and shallow conversations, this kind of listening is rare and powerful. It shows that what you say matters to him, not just because he cares about the topic, but because it's coming from you. You'll notice it in the way he reacts, the way he looks at you when you speak, how he pauses to think about your words, how he remembers the things you said days or even weeks later. He might reference something you said casually, something you even forgot, but to him, it's stuck. That's not by accident, it's because he values your voice, your thoughts, and your emotions. Even when you're rambling, venting, or just thinking out loud, he pays attention. True listening also means he picks up on what you're not saying. He notices the change in your tone, the hesitation in your words, the emotions behind your silence. He asks how you're really feeling, not just out of habit, but because he genuinely wants to know. This kind of presence is a quiet form of love. It tells you, without needing to say it aloud, that you are heard, seen, and deeply respected. And when a man listens like that, it means his heart is already with you. 4. He introduces you to his close friends and family. When a man is truly in love, one of the most telling signs is that he introduces you to the people who matter most in his life, his close friends and family. This step isn't casual for him. It's deeply significant. Men don't usually bring just anyone into their inner circle. If he's doing it, it means he sees something real and lasting in you. And he wants to share that with the people he trusts the most. Introducing you to his loved ones shows that he's proud of you. It means he wants the important people in his life to know who you are, and he wants you to know them too. It's his way of blending two worlds, his past, his upbringing, his friendships, with his present and future, which now includes you. He's letting you in, and that's a vulnerable thing to do, especially for someone who doesn't take relationships lightly. It's also a form of reassurance. When you're standing next to him at a family dinner or hanging out with his closest friends, you feel the unspoken message. You belong here. It's his way of saying, you're not just a part of my private life, you're part of the life I show the world. And that kind of openness doesn't come from casual feelings. It comes from a heart that's fully invested, one that's no longer just thinking in moments, but in shared memories, real connection, and long-term commitment. 5. He supports your dreams like they're his own. When a man is truly in love, your dreams become just as important to him as his own. He doesn't see your goals as separate or distant. Instead, he connects with them, believes in them, and supports them with genuine enthusiasm. Whether your dreams are big or small, long-term or spontaneous, he treats them with respect. Not as fantasies, but as things that matter deeply, because they matter to you. His support shows up in the way he encourages you when you're doubting yourself. He reminds you of your strength when you forget it. He celebrates your progress, even the small wins, with pride in his eyes. He pushes you to keep going when you feel like giving up, not by force, but with quiet belief in your potential. That kind of support isn't about control or advice. It's about standing beside you through every step of the journey, offering strength when yours is low. Even if he doesn't fully understand your dream, he'll try. He'll ask questions, learn about your passions, and find ways to contribute. He doesn't feel threatened by your ambition. Instead, he's inspired by it. He wants to see you shine, grow, and reach everything you're chasing, not just because it makes you happy, but because it gives his love purpose. In real love, your victories feel like his victories. Your growth becomes a shared experience. And when a man supports your dreams like that, it's more than encouragement. It's a reflection of his heart. 6. He makes time for you, no matter how busy he is. When a man is truly in love, he finds time for you, not out of obligation, but because he genuinely wants to. No matter how packed his schedule is, no matter how demanding his work or personal life becomes, he creates space for you in it. Love doesn't wait for perfect timing. It shows up even in the chaos. And when a man's heart is with you, he'll never let busyness be an excuse to make you feel unimportant. It doesn't have to be grand gestures or hours of uninterrupted time. Sometimes it's the little things, a quick call just to hear your voice, a thoughtful message in the middle of a hectic day, or showing up even when he's tired. He'll rearrange, reschedule, or make sacrifices to be present, because in his world, your presence matters more than comfort or convenience. That kind of effort speaks louder than words. You'll notice he doesn't just fit you in, he includes you. Whether it's sharing a moment from his day, inviting you into his routine, or simply checking in, he makes sure you feel seen and valued. Because for him, time isn't just a resource, it's an expression of love. And when he chooses to spend it with you, even when life is demanding, it means your place in his heart is permanent. Real love shows itself, not when it's easy, but when it's hard, and he still chooses you. 7. He protects you, emotionally and physically. When a man is truly in love, his instinct to protect you goes beyond the physical. It becomes emotional, mental, and deeply personal. He doesn't just want to keep you safe from harm. He wants to guard your heart, your peace, and your well-being. His love shows up in the way he pays attention to what affects you, how he steps in when you're hurting, and how seriously he takes your feelings. Protection, in real love, isn't about control. It's about care. You'll feel it in the way he defends you when you're not around, in how he speaks about you with respect, and how he won't let others treat you poorly. But it's also in the quiet, everyday moments. When you're overwhelmed, he wants to ease your stress. When you're anxious, he offers calm. He creates a space where you can be vulnerable without fear of judgment, where your emotions are safe and your voice is heard. Physically, he's present. He'll hold your hand in crowded spaces, make sure you're safe walking at night, or check in when you're traveling. It's not about being possessive. It's about being dependable. His actions say, "I've got you," and they prove it over and over again. This kind of protection is rooted in love, not ego. It's not about showing strength. It's about being a steady presence. When a man truly loves you, keeping you safe, in all the ways that matter, becomes second nature. 8. He respects your boundaries. When a man is truly in love, he doesn't just accept your boundaries, he honors them. He understands that love without respect isn't love at all. Whether your boundaries are emotional, physical, or personal, he takes them seriously, without needing constant reminders or explanations. He knows that your comfort, your pace, and your choices matter. Instead of pushing you to change or crossing lines to get closer, he chooses patience, understanding, and trust. You'll feel this in the way he listens when you say no, without making you feel guilty. He won't pressure you into conversations or actions you're not ready for. He gives you space when you need it, and reassurance when you're uncertain. He doesn't take offense when you express your needs. Instead, he appreciates your honesty and adjusts his behavior because your peace matters to him. Respecting your boundaries also means he never makes you question your worth. He won't play games or test your limits. He understands that a healthy relationship is built on mutual trust and communication, not control or pressure. His love creates a safe space where you feel free to be yourself without fear of judgment or emotional manipulation. Real love is not about possession. It's about partnership. And when a man respects your boundaries, it's a sign that he sees you not as someone to change or shape, but as someone to cherish exactly as you are. 9. He opens up about his feelings. When a man is truly in love, he begins to open up about his feelings in a way that's raw, honest, and sometimes even vulnerable. For many men, expressing emotions doesn't come easily. Society often teaches them to stay guarded, to be strong, to keep things inside. But love changes that. It creates a space where he feels safe enough to let his guard down and show you what's really going on beneath the surface. He may start to talk about things he's never told anyone before: fears, hopes, past experiences, or current insecurities. Not because he's looking for sympathy, but because he trusts you enough to let you into his inner world. His words might not always be perfect, but the effort to share them speaks volumes. He wants you to know him, not just the strong or put-together version, but the real, human version too. Opening up is also his way of inviting emotional intimacy. He wants you to feel close, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. It's his way of saying, "This is who I am, and I want you to be part of it." And when he listens to your feelings in return, with genuine care, it builds a connection that's deeper than words. Love gives him the courage to speak from the heart. And when a man truly opens up about what he feels, it's not weakness. It's one of the clearest signs that his love is real, vulnerable, and all in. 10. He apologizes and means it. When a man is truly in love, he learns to apologize, not just to end an argument, but because he genuinely values your feelings and the relationship you share. His apology isn't filled with excuses or half-hearted words. It's sincere, thoughtful, and rooted in self-awareness. He doesn't say "I'm sorry" just to move on quickly. He says it because he understands that his actions, words, or silence may have hurt you, and that matters to him deeply. Love humbles a man. It makes him more aware of how his behavior affects someone else's heart. Instead of getting defensive or shifting blame, he takes responsibility. Even if it's hard, he chooses honesty over ego. That's because your emotional well-being means more to him than winning a disagreement or proving a point. When he apologizes, you'll feel the difference. There's empathy in his voice, not just regret. He'll often ask how he can make it right, and most importantly, he'll show change. Real love doesn't just say sorry, it backs it up with action. He learns from mistakes and works to not repeat them. That effort is what builds trust again and again. Apologizing and meaning it is a sign of emotional maturity. It shows that his love for you goes beyond pride. And when a man is willing to lower his guard, admit he was wrong, and make amends, not for show, but from the heart, it's a quiet but powerful proof of how deeply he cares. 11. He includes you in his future plans. When a man is truly in love, he naturally begins to include you in his future plans, not as a casual thought, but as someone he sees walking beside him through life. It's not forced or strategic. It flows from a place of genuine connection and long-term commitment. Whether he's talking about upcoming vacations, career moves, or even where he wants to live one day, your name is part of the vision, not just because he wants you to be informed, but because he wants you there. You'll notice this shift in the way he speaks. He says we instead of I. He talks about things like when we move, or when we have kids, or what kind of house we'd want without hesitation. These aren't empty words. They're reflections of how deeply you've become part of his life and how seriously he sees the relationship. It's not just about the big conversations either. Even in small plans, weekend trips, family gatherings, or simple routines, he makes sure you're included. He considers your opinion, your schedule, and your feelings when making decisions, because for him, the future isn't complete unless you're in it. Including you in future plans is his way of offering stability and emotional security. It shows that he's thinking long-term, that his love is not momentary, and that he's not just building a life, he's building a life with you. That kind of inclusion is one of the clearest signs that his love is real, serious, and here to stay. 12. He stays loyal, even when no one is watching. When a man is truly in love, loyalty isn't something he performs for show. It's something he lives by, even when no one is watching. His commitment to you isn't dependent on who's around, what temptations exist, or what challenges arise. It comes from within. It's a quiet promise he's made to himself, not just to be faithful in action, but to be emotionally honest, respectful, and devoted in every sense of the word. Real loyalty shows up in the unseen moments. The way he talks about you when you're not there, the way he handles attention from others, and the choices he makes when no one would know otherwise. He doesn't entertain situations that would compromise your trust because he values your heart more than a fleeting moment of validation. His loyalty is about more than just not cheating. It's about being true to you in thought, in intention, and in presence. He doesn't make you question where he stands or who he's with. He's transparent, not because you ask him to be, but because he wants to be. That kind of loyalty builds trust that doesn't need to be constantly tested. You feel secure with him, not because he says all the right things, but because his actions never give you a reason to doubt. In love, loyalty is one of the purest forms of respect. And when a man remains loyal even in silence, even in solitude, it means his love runs deep, honest, grounded, and unshakable. 13. He notices when something's wrong, even when you don't say it. When a man is truly in love, he becomes deeply tuned in to your emotions, even the ones you try to hide. He notices the subtle changes in your tone, your expressions, your energy. You don't have to break down or explain everything for him to sense that something's off. Maybe you're quieter than usual, or your smile doesn't quite reach your eyes. Even if you say, "I'm fine," he knows it's not the whole truth because he knows you. This kind of emotional awareness doesn't come from casual interest. It comes from real care and attention, from paying close enough attention to know what your normal feels like and instantly sensing when something is off. He doesn't wait for you to speak first. He gently checks in, shows concern, and creates space for you to open up when you're ready. His response isn't dramatic or invasive. He doesn't push or demand answers. Instead, he offers calm presence, silent support, and quiet understanding. It's his way of saying, "I see you, I care, I'm here." And sometimes, that's exactly what love looks like. Someone showing up for your unspoken feelings. This kind of intuition only comes from someone who's deeply emotionally connected to you. It shows he's not just in love with the happy, easy moments, but he's committed to understanding every side of you, even the ones you don't always express. And in those quiet, noticing moments, love speaks its loudest. 14. He makes sacrifices without keeping score. When a man is truly in love, he makes sacrifices for you, not to earn something in return and not to remind you later, but simply because your well-being, comfort, and happiness matter to him. These sacrifices aren't always grand or dramatic. Often they're small, quiet acts, giving up his time, adjusting his plans, compromising on things he wants, just to make life easier for you or to support something that matters to you. And the most beautiful part is, he doesn't keep score. He doesn't hold those moments over your head or expect you to repay him. In real love, sacrifices are a natural part of the connection, not a burden, but a choice made willingly. He chooses your needs over his own at times because love teaches selflessness. Maybe he stays up late to help you through a tough night, or lets go of something he wanted to do because he knows you need him more in that moment. He won't mention it later or use it as leverage because he doesn't do it to be recognized. He does it because he genuinely cares. Keeping score doesn't exist in healthy love. When he gives from the heart. And when you love someone that deeply, their happiness becomes part of yours. A man who makes sacrifices without keeping track is someone whose love is rooted in something pure. A love that's not about balance sheets, but about showing up, staying kind, and choosing you again and again. 15. He tells you and shows you that he loves you. When a man is truly in love, he doesn't just say the words, "I love you." He lives them. His love is something you feel, not just hear. It shows in the way he looks at you, the way he holds your hand when you're anxious, the way he shows up for you even when it's inconvenient. He understands that love isn't just spoken, it's proven, over time, through consistent actions that match his words. He tells you he loves you in the quiet moments, in the middle of an ordinary day, not just when it's expected, but more importantly, he shows it. He shows it by being there when you need him most, by listening without judgment, by making you feel safe, seen, and valued. He supports you when you're at your best and stays beside you when you're at your worst. His love isn't conditional or selective. It's steady, even when life gets messy. He makes you feel cherished in the little ways, remembering what matters to you, paying attention to what makes you smile, and doing things simply because they'll make your day better. His actions speak a quiet truth, that you matter to him, deeply and fully. When a man truly loves you, you don't have to question it. You don't have to look for signs or read between the lines, because his love is felt in his presence, his care, his words, and most of all, in the way he never lets you feel alone.